The Fed needs to be exposed.
Congressman and presidential candidate Ron Paul has been working for years to audit the Federal Reserve, even as he heads into retirement. He says we're nowhere near passing the bill yet. However, he does say Americans are more familiar with what the Fed has been doing.
I think 80% of the American people said we should have transparency of the Fed. And as the economy worsens, which I suspect it will be, at least the eyes of the American people will be on the Fed, because they've been caught bailing out their friends at the same time, taking care of the people who were too big to fail, and the people who were too little to worry about lost their jobs and lost their houses.
Now, it's no secret that Congress spends too much. This has led to the Fed playing some very interesting games.
When the Congress spends too much money, they send the bills to the Treasury. They float bonds and Treasury bills, and a lot of people buy them still. The Federal Reserve buys a lot of them, and they own $1.7 trillion. And the Congress has to keep taxing people to pay the interest on these bonds to the Federal Reserve. Now, some of that money will come back to the Treasury, but it's a game they play, because out of that money they get, that's how they manage their affairs and spend lavishly on themselves and running all their programs. And I've made a suggestion that if we really wanted to, tide ourselves over and get a year reprieve, just don't pay them anymore. Liquidate that debt. I mean, who are they? They bought it with money they printed, so it's not like they are somebody that deserves, because they're unconstitutional.
The battle against the Fed is over transparency, which would benefit taxpayers.
The people are taxed to pay the interest to the Federal Reserve. It's a gimmick, and it's a dangerous gimmick, because it just gives the Federal Reserve more leeway to manipulate the monetary system.
Reporting from Washington, Adam Bitely.